The vast expanse of space stretched before the research vessel horizon, its sleek hull gleaming against the backdrop of distant stars. Inside the ship's advanced research laboratory, Dr. Elena Rodriguez leaned over a complex array of quantum sensors, her fingers dancing across holographic displays that shimmered with intricate data patterns. "Captain Holloway," she called out, her voice tight with excitement, "you're going to want to see this." Captain Marcus Holloway strode into the lab, his weathered face a map of countless space missions. His eyes, sharp and intelligent, focused on the rapidly changing readouts. Beside him, Aria Zhang adjusted her neural interface, her expertise in AI systems adding another layer of analysis to the mysterious readings. "Explain," Marcus demanded, his tone balanced between skepticism and curiosity. Elena pointed to a pulsing quantum signature that defied conventional understanding. "It's not just random noise. These quantum fluctuations, they're structured, almost like a language, but not one we've ever encountered before." The research vessel had been commissioned by the Interstellar Research Division, led by the formidable Admiral Nikolai Volkov, to explore the furthest reaches of known space. Their mission: to push the boundaries of human understanding and search for signs of extraterrestrial intelligence. Aria Zhang's augmented vision overlaid complex algorithmic interpretations on the data. "The signature is repeating," she confirmed, but with subtle variations that suggest intentionality. Captain Holloway studied the readings, his military background warring with scientific curiosity. Could it be a natural phenomenon? Some unknown quantum resonance? Dr. Rodriguez shook her head. Natural phenomena don't create such precise mathematical sequences. This looks like a message, or the remnants of one. The ship's communication systems crackled to life. Admiral Volkov's voice carried a mix of authority and intrigue. "Status report, Horizon. What have you discovered?" Before anyone could respond, the quantum signature suddenly intensified. The laboratory's sensitive equipment began to pulse with an otherworldly rhythm. Holographic displays flickered, computer systems momentarily destabilized, and a strange harmonic resonance filled the air. "Something's responding," Aria whispered, her neural interface working overtime to process the incoming data. "It's like the universe is listening." Captain Holloway's hand instinctively moved to the communication console. "Maintain system integrity. Elena, can you isolate the source?" Dr. Rodriguez's fingers flew across the controls, triangulating the mysterious signal. "It's coming from a region of space previously marked as empty. No stars, no planetary systems, just absolute darkness." The quantum signature continued its complex dance, a mathematical ballet that seemed to challenge everything they understood about communication and space. It was precise, rhythmic, and undeniably artificial. "We need to investigate," Elena said, her scientific passion burning bright. "This could be the discovery of the century." Admiral Volkov's voice returned, this time with a clear order. "Proceed with caution. Prepare a detailed report. If this is what we think it might be, it could change everything we know about our place in the universe." As the Horizon adjusted its course, moving closer to the source of the mysterious quantum signal, a sense of anticipation filled the ship. They were about to step into the unknown, following a mathematical whisper that promised to unravel the deepest mysteries of existence. The Horizon drifted closer to the mysterious quantum signal, its advanced sensors probing the seemingly empty region of space. Lieutenant Jasmine Coleman monitored the communication arrays, her fingers hovering just above the holographic controls that translated the complex mathematical patterns into something approaching comprehensible data. "Dr. Patel," she called out to the ship's xenobiological researcher, "these quantum signatures are unlike anything in our database." Dr. Rajesh Patel approached, his dark eyes intense with scientific curiosity. The quantum pattern had evolved, becoming more complex with each passing hour. What had initially seemed like a simple mathematical sequence now resembled an intricate language, one that spoke through probability and quantum entanglement. Commander Derek Rice studied the navigation charts, tracing the subtle gravitational anomalies surrounding their position. "The space here," he muttered, "it's not behaving according to standard physical laws." Suddenly, the ship's systems began to pulse with an unexpected rhythm. Holographic displays flickered, showing fragments of what appeared to be complex geometric structures, not quite images, but more like mathematical representations of something beyond three-dimensional understanding. "Admiral Chenwei, are you receiving this?" Lieutenant Coleman transmitted to their remote command center. The response came quickly, leaden with both excitement and concern. "Confirm your readings, Horizon. What we're seeing defies current scientific understanding." Dr. Patel's analysis revealed something extraordinary. The quantum signal wasn't just a message. It was a form of adaptive communication that seemed to respond to the ship's own quantum state. Each probe, each scan, each moment of observation was subtly changing the signal itself. "It's reactive," Dr. Patel explained to the bridge crew. "Like the act of observation is part of the communication process. The signal is learning, adapting to our attempts to understand it." Commander Rice approached the primary quantum interface. "Can we communicate back?" he asked, a hint of challenge in his voice. Area Jung, their AI systems specialist, had been quietly running complex algorithms. "We might be able to," she said, her voice measured, "but we'd be stepping into completely unknown territory. This isn't like any first contact scenario we've ever prepared for." The ship trembled slightly, not from external forces, but from the intensity of the quantum interactions. Outside the viewports, space itself seemed to ripple, creating impossible geometries that defied standard physics. Lieutenant Coleman noticed something strange in the communication arrays. "The signal," she said, her voice rising. "It's forming a pattern that looks like a coordinate system." Dr. Patel leaned in, his scientific excitement mounting. "Not just coordinates. It's a map. But a map of what?" As if in response, a massive holographic projection erupted in the center of the bridge. It showed a complex three-dimensional structure that seemed to shift and breathe, existing simultaneously in multiple states of possibility. "This is impossible," Commander Reyes whispered. Admiral Chenwei's voice cut through the tension. "Horizon, maintain your position. Do not, I repeat, do not attempt direct interaction until we can fully understand the nature of this signal." But the quantum whisper had other plans. The ship's systems began to resonate with the signal, creating a harmonic convergence that felt both terrifying and miraculous. The horizon found itself suspended in a realm that existed between known physical dimensions. Dr. Fatima Al-Mansour watched in awe as the quantum signal transformed from an abstract mathematical pattern into something more tangible, a living, breathing communication that seemed to pulse with intelligence. "It's not just a signal," she muttered to Captain Sofia Martinez. "It's a gateway." The ship's advanced sensors struggled to interpret the impossible geometries surrounding them. Professor James Okoro, the interdimensional physics expert, had been working tirelessly to decode the complex quantum language that now enveloped their vessel. "The signal is creating a dimensional bridge," Professor Okoro explained, his fingers tracing holographic representations of quantum entanglement. "But not like anything we've ever conceived. It's as if space-time itself is being rewritten around us." Captain Martinez gripped the ship's command console, her military training battling with the sheer impossibility of their current situation. The bridge crew watched in a mixture of terror and wonder as reality seemed to fold and unfold, creating impossible landscapes that existed simultaneously, and yet nowhere. Ambassador Kara Svensson, typically calm and diplomatic, found herself struggling to maintain composure. "This is beyond any first contact protocol," she whispered. "We're not just communicating with something. We're being invited somewhere." The quantum signal began to take on a more deliberate form. What had once been abstract mathematical patterns now resembled a complex navigation system. Dr. Al-Mansour realized they were being guided. But to where? "The dimensional coordinates," she called out. "They're showing us a path. But it's not a linear path. It's more like a probability flow." Suddenly, The ship's systems began to resonate with the quantum signal. Holographic displays showed fragments of impossible landscapes, worlds that existed in multiple states, civilizations that seemed to breathe and pulse with quantum potential. Professor Okoro's eyes widened. "We're not just observing," he said, his voice trembling with excitement. "We're being integrated into a communication network that spans multiple dimensions." The ship's structural integrity began to shift, not physically breaking, but existing in a state of quantum flux that defied traditional understanding of matter and space. Captain Martinez issued a calm but firm order: "Maintain system stability. We are not losing control." Ambassador Svensson transmitted a carefully crafted message back through the quantum network. It was less a traditional communication and more a mathematical proof of consciousness, a way of saying, "We are here. We are listening." The response was immediate and overwhelming. Fragments of knowledge began to flood the ship's systems, not just information, but entire conceptual frameworks that challenged everything humans understood about existence, communication, and the nature of reality. "It's showing us something," Dr. Al-Mansour breathed. "A civilization that exists beyond linear time, beyond physical constraints." The quantum signal was an invitation, but to what exactly remained a mystery. As the horizon continued its impossible journey, the crew realized they were no longer just explorers. They had become participants in a communication that transcended human understanding. The boundaries between reality and possibility had become meaningless. Dr. Liam O'Connor, the quantum mechanics pioneer, stood at the epicenter of the most profound scientific discovery in human history. The horizon had transformed from a mere spacecraft into a living conduit of interdimensional communication. Commander Yuki Tanaka monitored the ship's systems, her tactical training struggling to comprehend the fluid nature of their current existence. "We're not just traveling," she reported to Dr. Aria Novak. "We're becoming part of something larger." General Victor Rodriguez, monitoring from the distant Interstellar Defense Command, watched the data streams with a mixture of fascination and growing concern. The quantum signal had evolved beyond a simple communication. It was a complete reimagining of spatial understanding. "The dimensional bridge is stabilizing," Dr. Novak announced, her voice a blend of scientific excitement and cautious analysis. "But it's not just showing us something. It's inviting us to participate." Fragments of knowledge cascaded through the ship's systems. They were witnessing the communication method of a civilization that existed beyond traditional concepts of time and space. Each quantum pulse carried entire libraries of information, not just data, but complete experiential frameworks that challenged human perception. Dr. O'Connor worked frantically to translate the impossible communication. "It's not a language," he explained to the bewildered crew. "It's a living mathematical construct. Each probability is a form of communication, each quantum state a complete narrative." The ship began to resonate at frequencies that defied conventional physics. Commander Tanaka watched as the vessel's structural integrity became fluid, existing simultaneously in multiple states of potential. "We're being asked to make a choice," General Rodriguez transmitted, his voice carrying the weight of humanity's most significant moment. "Not just to observe, but to participate." The quantum signal presented a profound challenge. It wasn't just sharing information. It was offering humanity a gateway to a completely new form of existence. A way of understanding the universe that transcended linear thought, physical limitations, and current scientific understanding. Dr. Novak's computational analysis revealed the true nature of the invitation. "It's a convergence," she whispered, "not an invasion, not a threat. A merging of potential." The crew of the Horizon found themselves at a crossroads of human evolution. The quantum communication was offering more than just knowledge. It was presenting a fundamental reimagining of what it meant to be conscious, to exist, to understand. Commander Tanaka made a decision that would change human history forever. "We accept," she transmitted, her voice steady and resolute. The universe seemed to hold its breath. In that moment, the boundary between human potential and cosmic intelligence dissolved. The Horizon was no longer just a ship. It had become a bridge between what was known and what could be imagined. As the quantum signal reached its peak, humanity took its first step into a larger, more profound understanding of existence. The convergence had begun.